Here it is unchanged. When we hear the name Cleopatra, we see pyramids, gold, serpents, magic. We imagine a woman who seduced emperors, ruled Egypt with spells and shadows. We see not a person, but a myth. But that's a lie. The pyramids were ancient ruins long before she was born. Magic, that's what poets invented. Cleopatra's power was not built on incantations. It was built on reason, on language, on strategy, on the ability to survive in a world where women did not survive. She was the last pharaoh of Egypt, the last to speak with gods and Rome as an equal, the last to try to preserve her country's independence, not with swords, but with alliances, not with fear, but with intellect. Her story is not a fairy tale. It's a chess match, where every move cost blood, where losing meant not defeat, but oblivion.
In the bustling streets of Alexandria, a girl named Cleopatra was born, destined for greatness. Her spirit burned brighter than the sun, and she was determined to rise above her lineage.
I'm not just a princess. I will be a goddess. The people will know my name.
Cleopatra's passion echoed through the palace. Her advisor, a polished British butler, watched her with a mixture of admiration and concern.
Come, my lady. Such ambition is commendable. But remember, the path to the throne is fraught with peril.
Cleopatra turned, her eyes sparkling with fire.
Peril, I thrive on it. I will speak the language of my people and unite Egypt like never before.
The butler nodded, recognizing her fierce determination.
Quite right, my dear. But may I suggest a strategy? To win hearts, you must first win their trust.
Cleopatra smiled, her confidence unwavering.
Trust? I will be their queen, their goddess. They will adore me.
With dreams ignited, Cleopatra set forth on her journey, ready to embrace her destiny. The world would soon know her name, not just as a ruler, but as a legend. In a grand yet shadowy court, a young woman named Ilara was poised to change the course of history. Surrounded by books and wise mentors, she absorbed knowledge like a sponge.
Every word, every gesture carries weight, does it not? Power is not merely a crown, but a dance of influence.
Ilara's mentor, an old and wise owl, nodded in agreement.
Indeed, young one. Your understanding of language will be your greatest weapon.
Ilara smiled, her eyes sparkling with determination.
I will not be just a shadow at court. My glory shall surpass all before me.
The owl watched her with pride.
You are destined for greatness. But remember, shadows often linger longer than expected.
Ilara squared her shoulders, a fierce resolve in her voice.
Let them linger. I will become the sun that chases them away.
As the moon rose high, the young woman felt the weight of her destiny pressing upon her.
Ooh. Then, let us prepare for the dance of power. For it shall be both beautiful and treacherous.
And thus, Ilara began her journey, ready to shine brighter than any before her. In the grand halls of Alexandria, Cleopatra stood before her advisor, her gaze fierce and determined.
I know they debate my beauty, but it's my brilliance they should fear.
The advisor adjusted his glasses, nodding in agreement.
Indeed, Your Majesty. Your intellect is a formidable weapon in this male-dominated world.
Cleopatra paced the room, her confidence radiating as she envisioned her future.
I will not just be a figurehead. I will claim the throne, not by blood, but by power.
The advisor stepped closer, sensing the weight of her ambition.
Such a bold ambition, Your Majesty. But you must tread carefully among those who underestimate you.
Cleopatra smirked, her eyes sparkling with resolve.
Let them underestimate me. Words are my shield, and I shall wield them like a sword.
The advisor smiled, impressed by her determination.
Then let us ensure your words are sharper than any blade. The throne shall be yours.
And with that, Cleopatra's journey to power began, armed with intellect and eloquence. In a small village in ancient Egypt, a girl named Cleopatra sat beneath the vast night sky, her eyes sparkling with dreams.
Wow, look at all those stars. I bet each one holds a secret about power and adventure.
As she gazed upward, a wise old man approached, his presence calming the air around her.
Young one, those stars are not merely for wishing. They reflect the ambitions you hold within.
Cleopatra tilted her head, intrigued by his words.
Really? You mean I can change the world just like the stars?
The old man nodded, his voice steady and deep.
Indeed, but power requires wisdom and strategy. Are you prepared to learn?
Excitement surged through Cleopatra, her dreams suddenly feeling tangible.
Absolutely. I want to be the greatest leader ever.
The old man smiled, a glimmer of hope in his eyes.
Then let your journey begin. For the stars are merely the beginning of your legacy.
With newfound determination, Cleopatra stood tall, ready to embrace her destiny.
When Ptolemy XII died, Egypt was left without an anchor. His daughter, Cleopatra, just 18 years old, became co-ruler with her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. But power divided among children quickly turns into war. Her brother's advisors began weaving intrigues. Cleopatra was exiled from Alexandria. She went into the desert, but she did not break. In exile, she did not remain silent. She gathered supporters, wrote letters, sought allies. She knew thrones are not given, they are taken. And when Julius Caesar, the conqueror of Gaul, arrived in Egypt, she saw an opportunity. But how could she reach him when her enemies controlled the palace? Legend has it, she ordered herself to be wrapped in a carpet and secretly delivered to Caesar's chambers. When the carpet was unrolled, he saw not a prisoner, but a queen, intelligent, determined, fluent in 7 languages. She did not ask for help. She offered an alliance.
Fierce and unyielding after the turmoil of civil war. Her trusted advisor, a polished British butler, stood by her side.
My lady, the situation is dire. Ptolemy XIII has perished, yet your strength shines brighter than ever.
Cleopatra tossed her hair dramatically, her eyes blazing with determination.
Darling, I didn't just come back to watch. I'm here to claim what's rightfully mine. This throne belongs to me alone.
The advisor raised an eyebrow, slightly concerned but impressed by her confidence.
A bold move indeed. However, the council may not take kindly to a single ruler.
Cleopatra stepped forward, her voice ringing with conviction.
Let them try. I will not share power or compromise. Alexandria shall know my name.
The advisor sighed, knowing the challenges ahead, but he admired her resolve.
Very well, my lady. I shall help you navigate these turbulent waters, but stay vigilant.
With a fierce grin, Cleopatra nodded, her spirit unbroken and ready to face whatever came next. In the grand palace of Egypt, the young queen sat on her throne, her heart heavy with the weight of her newfound power. Her advisor, a polished British butler, stood nearby, observing her unease.
This throne is both a blessing and a curse. Rome watches with hungry eyes, and the people, they expect so much.
The queen's voice was smooth yet laced with unease. The butler adjusted his collar, offering his insight.
Your Majesty, you must remember that symbols can inspire. They can rally the people to your cause.
The queen looked up, intrigued by his words.
A symbol, you say? But how can I embody that? I am but a young exile.
The butler smiled, his tone warm yet condescending.
Your resilience, my dear, is your greatest asset. Embrace it, and they will follow.
The queen pondered this, feeling the flicker of hope.
So, I must be more than a ruler. I must become a beacon.
With newfound determination, the queen rose from her seat, ready to face the challenges ahead. The butler nodded approvingly.
Indeed, Your Majesty. Let us begin this journey together.
And so, the young exile prepared to transform her fragile power into an enduring legacy. In the grand halls of the palace, the young queen sat, her presence both majestic and unsettling. She felt the weight of her new power as her advisor, a polished British butler, approached her.
Your Majesty, the people await your decree. They look to you for strength and guidance.
The queen's piercing gaze swept across the chamber, her voice smooth and deliberate.
But they do not know what lurks in the shadows, do they? Rome watches with hungry eyes.
The butler straightened, a hint of concern in his demeanor.
Indeed, Your Majesty, we must project an image of unwavering confidence. The throne demands it.
The queen leaned forward, her voice almost a whisper.
To be merely a queen is not enough. I must become a symbol, a beacon of hope or fear, as they choose.
The butler nodded, his expression grave.
Then let us craft your legacy, one that even the Romans cannot ignore.
And with that, the young queen plotted her rise, knowing that the path ahead was fraught with peril and promise. In the grand chambers of Julius Caesar, a carpet unfurled dramatically, revealing the striking figure of Cleopatra. She stood tall and confident, captivating Caesar with her presence.
Darlings, I am Cleopatra, and I'm here to change the game. My intellect is my true beauty.
Caesar raised an eyebrow, intrigued yet skeptical.
You think you can just waltz in here and impress me with a line like that? What's your angle, huh?
Cleopatra, undeterred, moved closer, her voice smooth and commanding.
Oh, sweetie, it's not just my looks you should be worried about. I'm fluent in 7 languages, and I can outsmart anyone in this room.
Caesar leaned back, crossing his arms, a smirk on his face.
7 languages, huh? Impressive. But can you handle a little Roman banter?
Cleopatra smiled, her eyes sparkling with mischief.
Bring it on. I'm ready for whatever you throw at me.
The tension shifted to exhilaration as Caesar realized he was in the presence of a true rival.
All right, then. Let's see if you can keep up, Cleopatra.
And thus, a battle of wits began, setting the stage for an unexpected alliance. In the grand halls of Alexandria, Cleopatra prepared to reclaim her throne, her heart racing with passion and ambition.
Oh, Caesar, with your support, I shall rise again. Together, we will be unstoppable.
Caesar smiled, his eyes gleaming with intrigue and desire.
My dear Cleopatra, the world of politics is but a shadow. Together, we can create a legacy that echoes through eternity.
As war raged outside, their bond deepened. Cleopatra bore a son, an heir to her dreams.
Can you believe it? Caesarion, a name that will shine like the stars.
Caesar's expression grew serious, the weight of their choices settling in.
But, my love, Rome may not accept him. They will see him as a threat.
Cleopatra's resolve hardened as she met his gaze.
Let them. In Egypt, he will be revered. Our love will conquer all.
With passion ignited, the duo stood united against the world, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. In the bustling heart of Rome, Cleopatra stood confidently beside Caesar, her son in tow, ready to embrace her newfound power.
Look at me, Rome. I am not just a queen. I am your equal.
The crowd gasped, murmurs echoing through the marble halls. Caesar smirked, his hands on his hips.
Yeah, well, that's a bold move, Cleo. You sure you want to stir the pot like that?
Cleopatra flashed a dazzling smile, but shadows loomed over their alliance.
Oh, darling, they'll love me once they see my brilliance.
But the winds of change swept through Rome, and whispers of betrayal filled the air.
You know, you might want to watch your back. Politics can get ugly, especially here.
Tragedy struck when Caesar was assassinated, leaving Cleopatra alone in a foreign city.
What have they done? My love, my power.
She clutched her son tightly, her heart heavy with despair.
Now it's just you and the kid, Cleo. You gotta figure this out. And fast.
With allies gone and danger lurking, Cleopatra knew she had to rise again. In the heart of ancient Egypt, a pharaoh returned from her journey, her mind heavy with the knowledge of Rome's treachery. She summoned her advisor, a polished British butler, to discuss her next move.
Rome has turned its back on us, dear advisor. We must forge an alliance with those who wield power, not with the weak.
The butler adjusted his spectacles, his demeanor calm, yet attentive.
Indeed, your majesty. Might I suggest seeking out the warriors of the East? They possess both strength and ambition.
The pharaoh paced, contemplating the butler's suggestion.
Yes, but they are unpredictable. We need allies who understand the weight of the sword beside the throne.
The butler nodded, his voice steady.
Perhaps a meeting under the cover of night. It would offer both secrecy and safety.
The pharaoh smiled, a glimmer of determination in her eyes.
A brilliant plan. We shall gather our forces and extend our reach. Rome will learn the true meaning of power.
With their minds set, the pharaoh and her advisor prepared for the alliance that could change the fate of Egypt forever. In 41 BCE, the stage was set for a grand encounter in Tarsus. Cleopatra, the enchanting queen of Egypt, prepared to meet Mark Antony, a key player in the power struggle of Rome.
Oh, darling, let's make an entrance they'll never forget.
Cleopatra stepped onto her gilded barge, draped in silks and surrounded by the scent of exotic perfumes.
What's with all the flair? Is this a negotiation or a Broadway show?
Mark Antony watched in awe as Cleopatra approached, her confidence radiating like sunlight.
You see, my dear Antony, it's all about the presentation.
Antony chuckled, struck not just by her beauty, but by her cunning strategy.
You really know how to work the room, Cleopatra.
Cleopatra smiled, her eyes sparkling with mischief.
Always, darling. In this game, it's not just about power. It's about the art of seduction.
And thus, in a moment of dazzling spectacle, the fate of nations began to shift. In the shadows of a grand Egyptian palace, Cleopatra and Antony forged an alliance that was as powerful as it was passionate.
Together, we shall rule the East, Antony. Our children will be the legacy of this union.
Cleopatra spoke with a mesmerizing calm, her eyes glinting with ambition. Antony, ever the assertive general, responded with determination.
Yeah, but we gotta watch our backs. Octavian's not one to forgive, you know? This is no cakewalk.
He leaned closer, a hint of urgency in his voice. Cleopatra stepped back, her regal demeanor unwavering.
Let him come, my dear. Strengthen our fleet. Build the temples. We will show him the true power of our alliance.
A flicker of doubt crossed Antony's face, but he nodded, inspired by her resolve.
All right, Cleopatra, I'm in. But we need a plan, and fast. That kid in Rome is sneaky.
As they strategized, the weight of their union grew heavier. The stakes were high, but so was their passion.
Together, we will either rise like the sun or fall like the evening star.
Their fates intertwined, they prepared to face the looming threat from Rome, ready to protect their legacy. In the year 31 BCE, The atmosphere crackled with tension as Octavian prepared for battle against Antony and Cleopatra.
This is it! Time to bring justice to the realm! Antony's treason will not go unpunished!
Octavian rallied his troops, his voice booming with confidence. Meanwhile, Cleopatra stood on her ship, her gaze fierce.
Octavian thinks he can defeat us so easily. He underestimates our power, my dear Antony.
Antony, feeling the pressure, looked at Cleopatra, uncertainty shadowing his face.
Your alliance is crumbling. You will face the consequences of your actions.
The two forces clashed at the Battle of Actium, the sea churning with chaos. Cleopatra's heart raced as she realized their fleet was faltering.
We cannot let this be our end. We must flee, Antony.
With a heavy heart, they abandoned their dreams, leaving the battlefield behind. Octavian stood victorious, his eyes set on the future.
Victory is ours. Let this be a lesson to all who dare betray the Empire.
And so, the alliance of Antony and Cleopatra was fractured, their empire crumbling into the shadows of history.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather round, gather round. Welcome to the dramatic tale of despair and heartbreak. Our story takes us to the grand city of Alexandria, where, oh boy, they tried with every ounce of strength they had left. But alas, it was all for naught. The mighty Rome was closing in, and the pressure was on. Now listen closely. Our hero Antony received some shocking news, false news, I tell you, about the death of his beloved Cleopatra. Can you believe it? In a moment of sheer anguish, he took his own life. And there she was, Cleopatra, left all alone. Picture this, a besieged palace, her children by her side, and a throne that was no longer a throne. What a heart-wrenching scene, folks. Stay tuned as we unravel more tales of love, loss, and the echoes of history.
My dear interlocutor, if I may interject, what a grand and tragic tale it is. A love that commenced as a celestial union, intertwining the fates of gods, ultimately culminated in a most unfortunate tragedy. Yet pray, let us not underestimate the indomitable spirit of Cleopatra. She had not uttered her final decree. Oh no. She understood with a clarity that only the most astute can possess that her demise must be a volition, not a mere sentence to be endured. Quite the dramatic turn, wouldn't you agree?
Oh man, can you believe it? In 30 BCE, everything was just, totally decided. Egypt? Gone. Mark Antony? Yeah, he's dead. And Rome? They're just like right there at the gates. And poor Cleopatra, all alone. But you know what? She wasn't defeated. I mean, she was the very last pharaoh. The last woman who could actually say no to Rome. Can you imagine that kind of pressure? It's just so embarrassing to even think about, being in her shoes. How could she even handle it? Wow, can you believe it? She actually tried to negotiate with Octavian. I mean, she offered gold, an alliance, wow. Even her son, Caesarion. But oh my goodness, he didn't want any of that. No way. He wanted a parade. Can you imagine? A parade to display her in chains through the streets of Rome. And then, just like that, she made this incredible choice. Not to be a prisoner, but to be a legend. I'm totally blown away. What a twist.
So legend says, right? She ordered a basket of figs to be brought, right? And inside, a venomous snake, an asp. The symbol of Isis, right? Symbol of power. So she dressed in white, wrote a letter to Octavian, and lay down on the stone, right? And then, when the Roman soldiers entered, she was already dead. Oh, so peaceful. Proud. Free. Can you believe it?
With her death, an era ended. Can you believe it? Egypt, a province. Pharaohs, just a myth. But Cleopatra? Oh, she remains. In books, in legends, in the very fear of Rome. She didn't just die. No. She chose how to leave. And in that moment, she triumphed. It's extraordinary. What a legacy!
She died. But, she didn't just vanish. Cleopatra's death, it became this beginning of her immortality, and it's just so profound. In Rome, her name, it was spoken with such unease. In Egypt, it was with reverence, almost like a prayer. And in Europe, well, there was admiration, but it feels like it comes with a heavy weight, doesn't it? She became a myth, a goddess who chose death over disgrace. A woman who spoke to empires as an equal. It's just so tragic, yet so powerful. Historians, they just can't seem to agree, can they? Was she a beauty? Or was it her brilliance that shone the brightest? And then there's the question of her death. Was it truly voluntary? Or perhaps it was all staged? But one single thing, is undeniable. She was an exception. A woman who ruled, who loved fiercely, who fought valiantly, and in the end, she chose to leave this world by her own will. It's just so tragic, isn't it? Oh my gosh, you guys. So, let's talk about her, right? In art, she's totally depicted as this amazing seductress, and in cinema, oh wow, she's a total femme fatale. And then in books, oh, she's like this super smart strategist. But wait for it, behind all those fabulous images is the real deal. She was the last pharaoh. Can you believe it? The final voice of Egypt and the very last choice of freedom. Isn't that just incredible? Like, wow, she has such an amazing legacy. I just love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, can you believe it? 2,000 years later, and her name is still ringing in our ears. It's not just some dusty old story from the past. No way. Cleopatra is here with us today, challenging us to think about power, love, freedom, and meaning. Isn't that just amazing? She's not just a figure in a book. She's a mirror reflecting our deepest desires. So let's celebrate her legacy and what it means for us today. Wow, what a powerful message. Just think about it.